Sasaki and Peeps episode 2. And in this episode we see Sasaki going on his first mission. And man, what a first mission it was. Talk about having a first job and a first thing to do that is actually tough, and in this case actually life-threatening. So I guess we can comprehend a little bit of what Sasaki is living, because you see him goofing around and being all scared, but to be honest, I kind of understand it, because I mean, going on this type of missions where your life can literally end any second is really tough, to be honest, especially when it is your first job after all. So yeah, we see how Sasaki and Hoshizaki go on this mission where they are trying to capture a group of bandits or not registered psychics, and as you expect, it doesn't go very good, because basically everyone got taken out, even Hoshizaki herself. To be honest, I don't know if everyone that got taken out actually died, or if it's a more light-hearted anime, because I mean, if that was to be the case where a lot of people die in this episode, then man, it was really a tough mission for Sasaki, and to see that in his first mission must be really tough, although I doubt this, because if that were to be the case, he didn't seem to be traumatized or suffering the consequences of seeing his teammates die. He was talking to Hoshizaki like nothing happened, or not really caring about his teammates, and they even went on to have a dinner after that. So yeah, I don't know if that was the case. I mean, the girl that he was fighting did actually mention the word kill, so maybe she actually did something like that, but who knows, to be honest. I don't know if that is the case or not. But yeah, another thing we saw in this episode is how now Sasaki is learning new powers, I guess you can say that. And Peeps even mentions that Sasaki is learning all these new powers really fast, because it mentions that it usually takes around a decade to learn, new powers, or to get used to powers, not even master them, but just get used to them. And Sasaki, just in a couple of days or even weeks, is learning all these new powers like nothing. I guess the only thing that is tough for him is the enchants, because those are things you have to actually memorize. Those are not things that are innate to you, that you can just feel. And yeah, I mean, that is something really interesting. I guess you can say Sasaki is some sort of prodigy or something like that, because man, he's really learning that fast. So yeah, that is impressive to see from him. And we see how when he was fighting the girl, that he just with a simple spell or magic, whatever you want to call it, was able to sort of overpower her. So you can imagine what will happen when Sasaki gets more used to his powers, because again, with just one simple electricity power, he was able to take down 3 of the people that were there. Not even just the girl that he was facing, but also the other 2 that were hiding. So pretty impressive stuff from Sasaki. I don't know how strong he will be in the future, but my guess will be that he will actually be really strong, probably the strongest one out of the whole world. Although there are still some people that might be living in this world that have not been shown yet, that could be potentially stronger than him even in the future, so there's that too. But yeah, it was quickly mentioned also in the middle of the episode how when Sasaki was selling the walkie-talkies, that they wanted to buy a lot of them, because supposedly it was mentioned that they're going to have a fight with the neighboring country, or I guess the most correctly way to say it is they're going to have a war with the neighboring country. So I mean, that is interesting, because Sasaki got curious on why they were buying a lot of walkie-talkies or whatever that thing he was selling was, because I mean, it makes sense. Why do you need that much of them? I guess one correct answer will be because they plan to use them as cell phones, but that wasn't the case actually, because they're actually planning to use them in war. So I guess that is actually going to be something really interesting to see in the future. If I were to guess, I would say that that is going to be a mini arc, or maybe some sort of of situation that takes 2-3 episodes or something like that. So we're definitely going to have things happening in the other world. It is not just going to be things happening in this world, in a real world. And I like that dynamic of having to go between worlds and dealing between problems in one world and in the other world. So yeah, that is really nice and refreshing to see, because I don't think we have seen an anime like this where the main character is traveling between worlds, having to solve things in this world world and in the other world. Most of the time you just have the protagonist being the isekai world, getting stronger or dealing with problems there and not necessarily coming back to the real world, maybe at the end of the anime or something like that. But not Sasaki and Peeps, so I gotta give it to the anime. They have done something new and refreshing that I think a lot of people are enjoying. Especially it will get better because now we're just dealing and having situations in the real world, but in the future we're going to have both worlds be more present, I guess you can say that. So if you think the anime is already great, then man, you're in for a surprise, because I think the anime will get even better in the future. So yeah, that is that. We also saw how at the end of the episode there was a pink hair girl doing something in a back alley, and Sasaki was actually kinda surprised to see her, and he was about to do something, but I was going to say she got up, but I guess the correct way to explain it is that she flied off, and yeah, that was actually surprising. I was kind of expecting her to be some sort of psychic or something like that, and yeah, I don't know what her power is exactly, maybe the power to fly and teleport, although that would involve two powers, so that would be kind of weird. And as we all know, psychics only have one kind of power. For example, the girl that Sasaki was fighting in the beginning had the power of psychokinesis, and only that. I think only Sasaki as of now has the power to use multiple powers. Maybe there are going to be other people like Sasaki, other animals that come from the other world and give powers to humans like Sasaki received. I could see that perfectly being the case, to be honest. There's no reason for Sasaki to be the only one to have this sort of power, so yeah. And who knows, maybe the other people that receive powers could be even stronger than Sasaki, because the animals or people that gave them to them could be even stronger than Peeps, so yeah. And another thing that I quickly want to mention that I enjoy about the episode was the pacing. The pacing, because it's not going really fast, but at the same time not slow. It is perfectly balanced. It is doing its thing. It's not rushing down to to get to the most important parts of the anime, and at the same time it is not taking a long time to get to the point. It is again perfectly balanced, doing its things. So yeah, in that sense it is actually pretty good in my opinion. You love to see those type of episodes, so yeah, this definitely was one of those. And yeah, that was basically everything important that happened in the episode. If you don't want to miss any episode reviews of the anime, please subscribe. Also give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, that will be everything by me, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.